CJ Forum. It's delightful to see Lucian here again tonight. He, in fact, is a very distinguished gentleman because he's on a bit of a roll tonight, having won the debate. But the only person I know, apart from Matthew Craig, who drives an Aston Martin, is indeed Lucian Camp. And there probably we'll just leave the analogy. And I also thought that the debate was probably there's one person who should have a last word about this subject of research and creativity, and that is indeed Robert Burns. So to give you a bit of background, Robert Burns was obviously born before the focus group was invented, the quantitative survey. He didn't tweet and he wasn't online. He was born in 1759 in Alloway in Ayrshire. He's son of a very poor tenant farmer. He spent his working life, early life, on his father's farm, and despite of this poverty, he was very well read, largely the assistance of his rather dogmatic father. So he started his research life from books. He read French and Latin, so his research got outside of Ruislip. He was international with his study of the written word. And at the age of 15, as a principal worker on a farm, he started writing. So that was creativity at a very, very young age. And he penned his first verse, My Handsome Nell, which was an ode to other subjects apart from farming that dominated his life, namely Scotch and women. And those were subjects he continued to research throughout his life with great creativity and enthusiasm. In fact, he was probably one of Scotland's most creative Scotsmen of all time. And this, thankfully, is a skill that Alex Salmon had not fully acquired. We're now going on a slight aside. We're doing a party political broadcast for the non-SNP party, because today I'm very pleased to report that the positive support for independent Scotland is at an all-time low. And you might imagine what would happen if Robbie Burns was Scottish First Minister, because he certainly was the people's poet. And I would imagine his influence might have greater impact than Mel Gibson in Braveheart. Some might say this demonstration of random creativity without any proper research on the film seems to have been the inspiration behind most people's idea of pro-independence in Scotland. And perhaps if Alex did some proper research, he might realise he was out of touch with his people, because Burns certainly wasn't. Burns' research also wasn't in Ruislip. He went across Scotland and he ended up in Edinburgh, which, as we all know, is the centre of the universe if you live in Scotland. And he mingled there with the illustrious circles of artists and writers. It was a hotbed of creativity and wine and women and song, who delighted in the ploughman's poet. And this gave him the opportunity to, very importantly, research his ideas with his peer group, the culture and creative centre of the world, the writers, the painters, the musicians. So Robert Burns researched the subject not from focus groups, but from books and real-life experiences. And whatever the insight from his peer group, he was like a brave client. He didn't just listen to the research, he stuck to his creative instincts, but inspired and guided in his themes, creativity then went on top. So in short, I would suggest that Robert Burns' view tonight was that research does not stifle creativity. It only does that if you let it. And it certainly didn't stop him. His writing style, a bit like Lucian's, as you heard some of his wonderful blog tonight, was certainly in the vernacular. And some frowned on it, but he stood his ground, and his creativity was such that more than 200 years later, we're still reading his poems and marvelling at his wit and inspiration. And I hope, Lucian, your blog in 200 years' time will be with us. So we were going to do Grace, but I think we'll do that after I've done the worst rendition of Ode to a Haggis that most of you will ever hear. Now I need some tools. I need a knife, something to stand by me, and I need a haggis. Yes. So should we pause for breath and have a drink? Said he hopefully.
I don't know. Where is it? kitchen's getting ready now.
Oh, good. So we can have a drink.
Make a presentation.
Whilst we're waiting, some prizes for our splendid debaters.
Did you rehearse working with Robin with the knife? Do you want to swap places with him?
No. Okay, yes. Are you alright now?
Yes, I'm fine, but it sounded as though you'd...
We're just putting that on hold because our splendid Scotsman is in the gents. Just waiting for him to come back before we play the background music, and he gets ready with his knife. If you haven't spotted it, we have not rehearsed. We have not rehearsed the next couple of minutes. Okay, let's go.
There it is. Go.
Knife. The music. Knife.
Live music.
Here we go. Oh, I thought you were doing the play guitar.
You do have to grab those right.
Are you going to hold it? I just stab you.
Yeah. Read your phone. No, I don't want to dance. Read your bloody phone.
I can't do it with that noise on. Okay. Fair fire on his sonsy face, great chieftain o'er the pudding race. Aboon them take your place, pinch tripe thumb. Will all your wordy or grace alangs me arm. This is an important thing. The groaning trencher, there ye fill. Your haggis like a distant hill. Your pen was helped to mend a mill in time of need. Although your pores the dews distill like amber bead. His knife, now to start the thing. We got the thing.
Where's it?
What? Is it arrived yet? It's on its way. Okay. Or just imagine that Andy's a hagger. His knife, see rustic labour dight, and cut ye up with and cut ye up with ready slight, trenching your gushels, intel's bite, lick any oddy ditch, and then, oh what a glorious sight, warm, reeking, rich. Ye pause with mankind you care, and dish them out the bill of fare. Oh, Scotland wants nae sneaking ware that jumps in luggies. But if you wish a grateful prayer, gie her a haggis. Now, liberally translated, that means, and this is politically incorrect, but Burns had quite a lot of children. The bit at the end means, if you want to get laid tonight, give the girl a haggis.
And if you didn't understand what all that was about, imagine what the Polish barmaid thinks of all of this. Thank you very much, Elizabeth. Charming.